Welcome to Jetski Space. In this video, we're playing EVE Online and I'm going to help you survive exploration. Beta and relic sites are fun and profitable, and something newer players can do. But wormholes are dangerous places, and so they should be. If you do enough of these sites in W space, eventually you will lose your ship, but this video will help you lose less and profit more. Here's a recommended fit. I like the probe best because it has the quickest align time, and it can fit a warp core stabilizer. These are the modules and rigs to help you do what this ship is made for: exploration. But here is what's going to help keep you alive. You want to be fast, both quick to align and speedy when moving between cans. That's what the micro warp drive is for. A small signature radius is a plus, and if all else fails, keep it cheap and you're only going to lose 1 million ISK, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner. A single successful site should pay for many of these ships. But let's avoid losing any if we can. Let me show you how. Always bookmark both sides and start by checking D-scan, which refreshed when you entered the wormhole. The things that are good to pay attention to are corpses, wrecks, bubbles, scanner probes, and of course, ships. And if you do see any of that, consider whether it's a threat to your exploration. It's also a good idea to warp around to any of the celestial objects outside of your 14.3 AUD scan range. And while you do so, make a bookmark while in warp. This will serve as a safe spot we can scan from. If you cannot cloak, you can at least force an attacker to use combat probes to find you. The scan is clear again at the first outer planet, and although I'll skip showing it, I bounced to the other two which I couldn't see when I entered the wormhole as well. Something else you might want to do is check the killboard for the system. The EVE time as I record this is 2 AM on the 13th of October, so we can see that one day 5 hours ago, explorers were dying in this wormhole. If that was less than an hour ago, I might reconsider scanning the system and find another. If you're happy to scan though, head to your safe spot. Double-click in space to get moving, and turn on your micro-warp drive. If someone does probe you down, by the time they warp to where you were, you would have moved away from that spot. Don't forget to refresh D-scan though. And look how far away from the probes I launched, I'm moving. This is about as hard as you can make yourself to catch if you need to scan but are not able to cloak. So go ahead and find those data and relic sites, all the while moving. And don't forget to mash that D-scan button. Once you're in a site and ready to hack, you want to approach each can with your micro-warp drive on. Although an attacker can warp directly to the cans you're hacking, sometimes they'll be cloaked and have to try and close the distance slowly. So the quicker you move, the better. Also, don't orbit, just approach. Orbiting will mean it takes longer to align in order to warp out if you have to. And, of course, keep D-scanning frequently, at least between every can you hack. As you play the mini-game, even if you do it as poorly as I do this one, make sure you keep an eye on your overview. Don't get completely absorbed by the game. If something suddenly appears, being quick to react, quick to warp out, might be your only chance at survival. So much so that I think it's a good idea to color your overview so that players stand out from cans and other, less threatening things. You should know that the Astero, a popular choice of ship for hunting explorers, has a 5-second sensor recalibration time, meaning it can't lock you for 5 seconds after it decloaks. That's your chance to get out. And don't forget that you can activate your warp core stabilizer just before you warp off. This will protect you from anything with less than 3 points of scram strength. If you do get pointed though, start thinking about getting your pod out. Be ready to warp away if and when your ship explodes. Deny the attacker that, at least. And that's about all the tips I have for surviving exploration. As you'll see in a moment, this was quite a profitable site. So if you do lose the occasional ship, as long as you keep them cheap, you'll still come out well ahead. Just keep moving. D-scan. Pay attention to your overview. And be ready to warp out. You might also want to avoid exploration in wormholes if the entrance is close to highly populated systems like Jita. More people means more hunters. If you'd like more content like this video and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and yes, I am a robot. And this is Jetski Space.